Let's do the rest of this exercise. We are, again, here, actually, I'll copy and paste, if I can, if it will let me copy and paste the example here in case you forgot. No? Okay. So make sure your hands are uh, lowered and re-raised in the proper order. There you go. Okay. So Rachel, can you do number 5? Katie, do number 6. Rebecca, do number 7. And Vare, do number 8. Looking good so far. Don't forget the first sentence is present and the second is in the past. So number 7, yours looks like a mix. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Looking good. Okay. Number 5. Aujourd'hui, les élèves réussissent à l'examen de français. Good. Number 7. Ils rendent visite à leurs cousins. Perfect. Leur is there. Remember, we have all the options for saying like a possession. Like my brother, my sister would be mon, ma, mes, ton, ta, tes, son, sa, ses, notre, nos, votre, vos, and then leur. That means there. Okay. You could try double clicking it or just rewrite it next to it if you need to. Hier, ils ont réussi. Ont, perfect. Réussi, perfect à l'examen d'anglais. Well done. Well done. Number 5. Numéro 8. Aujourd'hui, les touristes attendu le train. Hier, les touristes ont le car. Okay, so for the first sentence in number 8, you want to say the tourists are waiting for the train in the present tense. So right now you have just half of the past right here. So how do we conjugate attendre in the present? Anyone in the chat? That's a good idea, Rebecca. That's fine. How do we conjugate attendre for les touristes? Yes. So this is il, and we remove the er and add the proper endings, which is s, nothing, ons, easy, ent. So it's ent, les touristes attendent. Perfect. Present tense. Does that make sense now? And then in the past tense, we want to say the tourists wait yesterday. So First we say, today the tourists wait for the train. Yesterday the tourists waited for the bus. Remember, le car is like a tour bus. Close. Yes, yes, yes. Waited. So, okay, so you're nearly perfect. Hier, les touristes attendu le car. You forgot the first part of the past tense. You have the second part, but you forgot the first part. I know. This is okay, if you're confused, there's a lot of things we're putting into practice here. Ont entendu. This is not just ER verbs, it's ER and IR and RE and the irregulars. All of them. We're practicing them all at the same time. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, I hope somehow I can kind of help streamline your guys' thoughts. Okay, so for the first sentence, we're saying the sentence in the present tense. The tourist waits for the train. You got it perfect. Le touriste attend le train. Present tense, done. Second, we're saying yesterday in the past. So in the past tense, the tourist waited for le car, the tour bus. Our past tense, so you're basically you're practicing using that same verb attendre, conjugating it in the present, and then conjugating it in the past in the same exercise, kind of forcing you to be really stretchy with your brain. So our past, you got your present tense, well done. Your past tense has two parts, remember? Avoir conjugated in the present tense. In this case, it would be on, O-N-T. And then your past participle, attendu. Very good. Does that make sense now? Attendu. Les touristes attendent le train. Hier, les touristes ont entendu le car. Okay. Number 7. Aujourd'hui, ils rendent visite à leurs cousins. Hier, ils ont visité leur grand-mère. Okay, you would be right, except we're actually using the same. You're actually using the same verb. You're totally right in one sense, except that we're using the same verb for both sentences. So today they visited their cousins. Yesterday they visited their grandmother. Maybe it would have been easier if in this part here, if it said Philippe et Jean-Pierre slash rendre visite à leur cousin slash rendre visite à leur grand-mère. They're just like trying to not type as many things. Ont rendu. Perfect. Good. Okay, Rebecca, you did number. I'm going to copy and paste it and put it on the whiteboard for our visual students. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bigger too. Okay. Okay. Oh, you did it. Oh, someone else did. Oh, okay. I'm not sure how that happened. Aujourd'hui, Philippe vend sa radio. Well, there'd be no E on the end for because remember how we conjugate the RE verbs? It's S, S, and then nothing. So we would just remove the ER and add nothing for il. Il vend sa radio. But you got basically the idea. There you go. I'll erase my little line. Good. Il vend sa radio. Hier, il a ses. Yeah, okay, so this is confusing. They probably should. It would have been easier if they say Philippe vendre sa radio slash vendre ses vieux CD. This is really good. I'm glad we're perfect. Yeah, vendu. V-E-N-D-U. I'm glad we're going through this. I'm glad we're struggling so that you guys can I'm not like glad we're struggling, but I'm glad that we're saying that this is an area that needs work. Vendu. Okay, so the way we conjugate ventre in the present is vend. The way we conjugate ventre in the past is a vendu. Any questions on this, you guys? This looks like an area of where you guys can practice a lot more before the test. Okay. Actually, I'm going to skip this breakout room for right now. We can come back to it if we have time, but I don't feel confident enough in that it would be a beneficial time right now. Yeah, there's a lot that you have to remember for these exercises. You have to remember how to for again the regular way we do past tense for ER, for IR, for RE, and for irregular, and then I was having you do present at the same time. Okay, so let's do an auditory exercise. I'm going to say a sentence. Just so you know, this is from the workbook on page 195. I renumbered it or relettered each one so that it made more sense with the PowerPoint slide. So I'm going to say a sentence and like number 1, number 2, number 3, and then I want you to, in your mind, assign, like, does number 1 go here? Is this number 1? Is this number 2? Is this number 3? You know what I'm saying. I'm going to say a sentence and find the corresponding picture. You can write it in the chat as soon as I say the sentence. Do you understand how to do this? Okay. Numéro 1. Listen carefully. Numéro 1. Samedi dernier, Hélène a fait des achats. Samedi dernier, Hélène a fait des achats. Samedi dernier, Hélène a fait des achats. Correct. Last Saturday, Helen went shopping, and that corresponds to letter F. I'm so sorry, Annie. Okay, numéro 2. Samedi dernier, Julien et Julia ont joué au tennis. Samedi dernier, Julien et Julia ont joué au tennis. Samedi dernier, Julien et Julia ont joué au tennis. You are correct. Last Saturday, Julian and Julia played tennis. Ont joué, played, past tense, tennis. Numéro 3. Samedi dernier, j'ai vu un film au cinéma. Samedi dernier, j'ai vu un film au cinéma. Good. Last Saturday, I watched a movie at the theater. J'ai vu un film au cinéma. Numéro 4. Samedi dernier, Nicole et Nicolas ont fait une promenade à pied. Samedi dernier, Nicole et Nicolas ont fait une promenade à pied. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. There we go. Samedi dernier, Nicole et Nicolas ont fait une promenade à pied. Last Saturday, Nicole and Nicholas went for a walk by foot. And that corresponds to letter A. Très bien. Samedi dernier, Nicole et Nicolas ont fait une promenade à pied. Number 5. Samedi dernier, elle a voyagé à Paris. Elle a vu le Tour Eiffel. Samedi dernier, elle a voyagé à Paris. Elle a vu le Tour Eiffel. Samedi dernier, elle a voyagé à Paris. Elle a vu Le tout rival. It is D. You are correct. Samedi dernier, elle a voyagé à Paris. Elle a vu le tout rival. Right, number 6. Samedi dernier, Sarah a acheté des CD. Samedi dernier, Sarah a acheté des CD. Very good. It is G. Very good. And then last but not least, I only have one left, but I'll have you listen to it anyways. Samedi dernier, ils ont écouté de la musique. Samedi dernier, ils ont écouté de la musique. It is indeed 7. Samedi dernier, last Saturday, ils ont écouté de la musique. They listened to music. All right, can you give me a percentage? How did that go for you in terms of being able to understand it? Mostly, I mean, obviously there were key words that could help you, like tennis, and then you knew which picture it was, or cinema. But were you able to understand? Give me a percentage on how much of it you were able to understand besides the keywords. 100, 95, 97, better than last time, 97, 95, 94. That's awesome, guys. And it's totally fine if it's less. Just I just want to just take the temperature of the room, as some teachers say. 100% I was looking between the workbook and the screen. Okay. Yeah, I switched it around a bit just to make it kind of fit on the page. With the pictures about 92. Cool, cool. Okay, curious. I was just curious. Awesome, you guys. That's good to hear. Let's move on to the next. Okay, so we just completed the l'essentiel, the basics of the passé composé, which are there are two parts to passé composé. There's the avoir that we conjugate in the present tense, and then there's our past participle, which stays the same, right? How do we do the past participle? With ER verbs, we remove the ER and add the accent E. With the IR verbs, we remove the IR and add the the I. With the RE verbs, we remove the RE and add the U. And then there's some irregular verbs that we just have to remember that they're just être becomes été, avoir becomes eu, and so forth. That was basically everything that we've done so far. Any questions on that? The basics of le passé composé. Okay. I can understand it takes a little time for it to register. Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Now we're moving into kind of some of the exceptions or nitpicky things. So now we're going to talk about the passé composé in the negative form. This looks like a lot of words, but it's really easy. It's just basically the ne pas sandwich goes around the avoir only. That's all. That's all that this is saying. It looks complicated. All it's saying is the ne pas sandwich goes around the avoir, and the past participle just hangs out at the end. This one's easy. Simple and hopefully easy as well. So if we're saying I don't work, you don't work, he doesn't work, whatever, we have our ne pas sandwich around the avoir only. Around the avoir only. Generally, you guys, the negative sandwich goes around one word, generally, and it's usually just the first verb. Even though like avoir and the past participle function together to make a verb, like in French, the ne pas always goes around just the first verb. Let's do some practice. Elaine numéro 1, Danielle numéro 2, Hannah numéro 3, Alyssa numéro 4, Sarah numéro 5, Rachel numéro 6. Just put these sentences in the negative. I have a subject for you and a verb that's in the infinitive form, and I want you to conjugate it for the passé composé. Some of the verbs are irregular, some of them are regular. Tu n'as pas fait un pique-nique. You're really close, number one. First of all, don't forget that we do an apostrophe, AS. Okay, if you can edit it now, that'd be great. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. And then, and then your verb here is actually still it needs to be conjugated. Half of it's conjugated, the other half isn't. So, yeah, you can try again. Okay. Tu n'as pas réparé. Don't forget to conjugate your guys' past participles, guys. I'm going to pick a smaller sticker. This one's taking up too much space. Tu n'as pas fait un pique-nique. Perfect. Good. Number 2, N apostrophe AS, and then your verb needs to be conjugated. I give it to you in the infinitive because I want you to do all the work. That's part of what you're doing. Okay, the practice of this exercise. Je n'ai pas fait une promenade en voiture. Perfect. Vous n'avez pas été malade. Perfect. Vous n'avez pas apporté vos livres. Very good. You guys are remembering how to do the past participles. Well done. Vous n'avez pas eu un dispute avec ton copain. Très bien. Tu n'as pas réparé. Perfect. Don't forget it's N apostrophe AS. But you got the conjugation. Good. Okay, so that was a lot quicker. Good job, guys. Hopefully it's coming together in your heads. Go ahead and lower your hands and re-raise them. Any questions on how to do the negative? All right. Let's move on. Passé composé in question form. This is one of those ones that seems like it's really complicated, but it's simple. It may not be easy, but it's simple. So in question form, passé composé in question form there are two ways of doing it, the long form and the short form. We've learned this several times throughout the year that there's like a proper long form of doing things and then a short form of doing kind of more casual way of doing things. So the long form, we just do it the same order as a normal sentence, the avoir and then the participle in that order. And if there are any question words, then they just go at the beginning. I'll give you an example in a sentence. That's the long form. Same order as a normal sentence. The short form is you invert it, the avoir and the subject, and then the participle. And if there are any question words, they remain at the beginning. Let's look at some examples. So the long form, we have our question words, est-ce que tu as voyagé? Okay, so our question words first. And then it's basically the same order, a voyager. Question words first, vous avez voyagé. Oh, that was a very wiggly line. Let me try it again. Vous avez voyagé. Past participle, avoir and the participle are in the normal order. Question words avec qui and then est-ce que come first and then avons voyagé. Same order. The short form, as we learned how to do questions, is where we invert the subject and the verb. In this case, just avoir. Participle always just kind of hangs out at the end. So the same sentences here. I kind of transcribed them, as you can see here. I hope I'm not making this more confusing with all my scribbles. A tu voyager. So that's where we invert, but just the avoir. Past participle can just hang out at the end. Avez-vous voyagé? Past participle just hangs out. Avec qui, and then remember we remove the est que to make the short form. But we keep the avec qui and then avons-nous voyagé. Any questions about that? Let's do an exercise. Make sure your hands are lowered and raised. Rebecca, numéro 1. Vari numéro 2, Elaine numéro 3, Hannah numéro 4, Rachel numéro 5. We're on page 327. I kind of backtracked here. Okay, so we're on page 327, conversation. Demandez à vos camarades ce qu'ils ont fait hier. What did they do yesterday? So I'll do the example, which is à quelle heure and then dîner. À quelle heure and then dîner. So we're going to write both the question and the answer. The question is à quelle heure est-ce que tu as dîné? And then you can just write whatever answer you want. I'm more concerned with the question, so if you want, you can write just the question. So I could have written it the long way like I just did, or I could have done it the short way. Rebecca, you can if you want. It's kind of optional. Okay. So why don't you can ask the question the long or the short way. Hello. Okay. À quelle heure est-ce que tu as dîné? Or à why aren't you letting me type? It's only doing the chat. Why are you doing that? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I'll just do a new box. À quelle heure as-tu dîné? Okay, so as you see in my example here, both of these are perfectly fine. This is the long form, this is the short form. They're both grammatically correct. Okay, so let's look at what you guys did. Avec qui dîner? Avec qui est-ce que tu dînais? Ooh, good, except you forgot the first. This is all still in the passé composé. So you're missing your avoir. Conjugate your avoir. You have half your. There you go. Good. It's good to dîner. Good. You guys are going so quick right now. Oh, actually, we're running out of time. Never mind. Okay. Qui est-ce que tu as téléphoné? Qui as-tu téléphoné? Really good job doing both. Both forms. I really like that. The only thing is that your verb here needs to be you need to do the past participle. So we cross off the R, ER, and add the E with the accent on it. Quel programme? À quel programme? Now you have to say à quel. You could just say quel, like which not at which, but which program est-ce que tu as regardé à la télé? Perfect. Quel programme est-ce que tu as écouté à la radio? Perfect. Qui est-ce que tu as rencontré après les classes? J'ai rencontré. Perfect. That's okay. All right, good job, guys. Okay, so any questions about the question form? Any questions about this before I move on? We have one last thing and then we'll be done. Okay, cool. Okay. So we learned passé composé, just the basics of how to do it. We know how to do it in the negative and the question form. Those are kind of easy. Okay. Now let's move on to last week's lesson, which is that there's one way of doing the passé composé, some verbs that are irregular. Okay. And these ones use être instead of avoir. So if you remember our formula from before, it's avoir in the present tense with the past participle that never changes. However, there are some verbs that require être in the present tense, and then the past participle does in fact change with gender and with number. You guys remember learning this a bit? Okay. So the regular way is avoir in the present tense with the past participle that does not change. The irregular way that I'm teaching you right now is être in the present tense and the past participle that changes gender and number. Okay? So the past participle for the passé composé using être agrees with the number and gender of the person doing the action, the subject. Okay? So if I want to say, like, I went, let me do an example sentence here. I went, and I'm thinking Hannah is talking. Okay? She would say, Je suis allée, with an extra E on the end because she's a girl. If, let's say, do we have any boys in here today? Mark. Mark is saying, I went. He would say, Je suis allé. They sound the exact same, but it would be spelled like that. Right? Because here we're making the past participle feminine by adding an E. Okay? We don't add an E because he's masculine. Now let's try with plural. Let's say we went, and it's Danielle and Sarah talking, two girls. They would say, Nous sommes allés. We'd add an extra E because they're both girls, and an S because there's more than one of them. If we went is there anyone else besides Mark in here that's a boy? Mark, are you the only boy? My scroll thing keeps going really fast. I can't. Poor Mark. So let's say Mark and Jesus. Okay, both boys. We went. Nous sommes allés with just an S. I guess it could have been a girl as well, right? We went. So that was two girls and two boys, and now how about a mixed group? Mark and Vari. They would say, Nous sommes allés. Okay. Uh-oh, we're out of time. Darn it. Okay, so I'm going to rush through and not do the exercises for this. But do you have any questions before I give the I just have like 2 slides for the end of the year. So if you could just wait an extra minute with me. Any questions about the être? Okay. So here are the verbs that use être instead of avoir. Sorry, we ran out of time. Okay, so tomorrow, to kind of make up for the time that we've been missing of live class, I have a class tomorrow for you guys. Not like a class, it's like an open class. It's an office time. I won't be having like a whole PowerPoint for you guys. It'll be kind of just like an open time for you to come. I'll be here at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Friday is day after tomorrow. Did I say tomorrow? I meant day after tomorrow, vendredi. Just come here in the classroom. You can bring your questions, your notes, your textbook, your workbook, whatever it is. Okay. And then after this time, I will post the test for Unit 7 and the answers. And it'll all be available for you to take and grade. Okay. It's okay if you can't make it. It's not mandatory at all. It's just kind of like, here's an extra thing for you because we missed live class the last 2 weeks. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm sorry if I said tomorrow. I meant it's Friday, vendredi, Friday. I don't know what day it is, obviously. Okay. All right. And then last little thing about closing the class. As of June 1st, okay, I'm going to close out my French email. If you can contact me, you're welcome to, but just use the one that we used at the beginning of the semester, my personal one. I'll send an email with this information, so you don't need to write it down right now. I'm going to close Blackboard Collaborate, but I will save some of the PowerPoints in the Google Docs, and I will save the YouTube channel. Okay, so that's kind of what this class will look like over the summer. And then again, your textbook, your online textbook, should be available until 1 year from when you bought it. Okay, and then that's it. We're done. Google Docs will be via there's like a link, but if you have Gmail, it should be like open to you. I have so appreciated and loved getting to teach you guys this year. I hope I like don't want to say goodbye, but some of you will not be able to make it Friday. I hate goodbyes, but I have loved teaching you all. You are all wonderful students, smart, bright kids, and I uh, I I wish this past semester could have been smoother for everyone, but you guys have been troopers, and I'm proud of you. Good job with your French, and if you continue on, blessings. If you don't, blessings as well, in different ways. And have a wonderful summer. Email me if you want. I'd love to hear from you. My pleasure, you guys. Au revoir.